Liberty. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown! 45 yards.
And return specialist. This time he beats the kicker in one more. DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome into the Don't Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, if you guys want to join in on Ticker Weeknights tonight, 402-464-5685. That is the Sartor Heyman text line. As always, you can also put a face to the voice. Use any of the streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo. You've heard them all before. Allo channel 961 if you got it. All right, good morning, Pierson-El. Bring you in on the weather is getting cold again, but maybe the clouds did go away yesterday as the Chiefs fall. They do not make it 3 in a row. They lose to the Philadelphia Eagles. I should have trusted my gut more because the Eagles were a much better team, and it showed up. I still picked them to win, but I picked them to win by a field goal. That was a can of, you know what? I mean, that there was no hope in that for the Chiefs. They had 0 points with about 38 seconds left to go. They hardly get any points. And then once the fourth quarter came around, Eagles took their starters out, and then you saw the Chiefs. But really, like, all their offense, they didn't come till garbage time. Good morning, Pierson-El. Your thoughts? Eagles dominated 40-22, and really, it's a fraudulent 22 for the Chiefs. And I actually can't hear you right now, the morning Pierson-El. So I'm not entirely sure if it's coming from your end or my end. We'll have to try that again later. So the morning, I'll give you like 5 minutes and we'll try it again. Maybe just hop out of the stream and then hop back in. Still doesn't work. Maybe just call in. But we'll talk about it. So in that game, I already mentioned Jalen Hurts was the MVP in that one. He played absolutely phenomenal. You look at his stats right here. He only had 5 missed passes, 17 of 22, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Patrick Mahomes, 21 for 32. 3 touchdowns and 2 picks as well. Good morning, Pierson-El. Let's try this one more time. Bring you back into it.
Can you hear me now?
Now we're all set. All right. Scared me for a moment there. I was like, we're really going to have to screw this up the day after the Super Bowl. No, we got him in now. Good morning, Pierson-El, the former Husker wide receiver, special teams threat. How many labels you want to give him? All good. Give me your thoughts on it.
I told you Vic Fangio, would be the X factor. People could say, he was 8-0. it wasn't the defense fault, to that. He had a solid offense that could back him up. I figured he would, limit the explosiveness of Mahomes. Saquon didn't even have, a good game, which honestly wasn't shocking.
I wouldn't say not a good game. Like I think
his presence was felt,
game.
but he wasn't doing what he was doing all playoffs, which is completely fine. They wanted a shootout between Mahomes and Jalen, and they bit off a little bit too much more than they could chew.
They bit off. Like, that offensive line for the Chiefs was not holding up at all.
We knew that. We knew that was the weakest point of their whole team all year.
The other part, the defensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs was not holding their own. I mean, they were getting ragdolled in that one at times. It was just an overall dominant line to scrimmage game from the Eagles. And then, I mean, just the defense at all. You mentioned that the Fangio was going to be the X factor. I'm happy to have stole that from you and kept that in mind throughout as we approached the playoffs. And even as we got closer and closer, really thinking about it, I was like, this might look like the Buccaneers win over the Kansas City Chiefs. And I was like a little too hesitant to call it that because I wasn't maybe a little bit too low on the Eagles defense, but that really what it was. On top of the offense being even more dominant than what Tom Brady was in that Buccaneers game. Just thoughts on how good that defense was. Were you expecting it all? I know you liked Vic Fangio heading into it, but I mean, this thing wasn't even close.
The thing about Mahomes, you have to keep your eyes on him, and that's one thing Fangio's defense is gonna do. They're gonna play with their eyes, see ball, get ball. They're a zone. They're not gonna be fooled with the trickery or anything like that. He's a lot like Belichick with you're not gonna beat him with what you want to beat him with. You're gonna have to go to your second and third options to overcome things. And his safety blanket was covered all night. Kelsey did not, really get things started, didn't get a spark. And he was getting home without blitzing. That alone is crazy.
Travis Kelce, by the way, just because you mentioned it, I want to give it because he really was nowhere to be found in this one. Only 4 receptions for 40 yards, 0 touchdowns, about 9. He was getting about, occasionally he was good to find himself open for 10 yards, but I mean, that was it. The tackling as well by the Eagles was so good. Like
they were rallying. They were rallying.
Yards do not exist against that Eagles defense. And I also believe there's 3 Huskers not necessarily playing on that team, but still an Eagle essentially that got their ring as well. So Juergens, shout out to him. And I believe they got another player
Nick
on
Gates.
Yeah, Gates. And who's the guy? There's a guy on the practice squad. I believe
it's a D lineman. I can't remember his name. I think it was with the Rams at first.
No, but nonetheless, you got 3 Huskers. Real quick, who was the last 3 Huskers to do it? Win at least a trio for a Super Bowl. It's kind of ironic when you think of the teams. I compare them all the time to the. I'm comparing this Eagles team to them.
It would be the Buccaneers because they had Khalil Davis.
Yeah,
I think Sue might have been on that team, and Levante David,
and the icon in the middle, Levante David. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, that was the last time it happened. So it was cool to see that as well, to get 3 more Huskers in it, and go ahead and get their Super Bowl ring. And Juergens really he's going to be so good out there. I mean, he's dominant already. Where's this year 2 for Juergens now?
Year 2.
Really, and he's just been so good for that team. I saw a few times he's just ragged on people out there. And I mean, if you're the Eagles, like, are they the team to beat now? They can
definitely run it back. They have enough firepower, of course. Some guys are going to depart in free agency. They have a decision with Slay at corner. Sweat, you got Nolan Johnson or Nolan Smith coming in the part. Something's gonna have to happen with Sweat. You can't keep both of them. So their defense will look a little bit different. Their offensive coordinator, I think, is heading out the door. Fangio will probably be back. So the defense will be fine. It just depends on who do you have as an offensive coordinator coming in there. Because with Fangio as a defense, they're not going to give up many points. You just got to do your job, and you got Saquon, you got AJ, you got Smitty. You got Goddard. You have weapons. So the goal is to get back there. I wouldn't say that they're the team to beat, but they're going to be the Boston coming out of the NFC East.
Yeah, just the way how dominant it was, I think is what scares. And again, it feels very much like Boston, because if they played in the say they're over in the AFC,
the AFC is stacked. The AFC is stacked. Like some of those guys over there might not get to a Super Bowl because of Mahomes. It's 2.0 of Brady dominating, Roethlisberger, Rivers, Manning. The AFC is a lot more stacked. So you got to go through a gauntlet to even get to a conference championship or the Super Bowl. The AFC is a lot. The NFC is a lot more open. It's maybe 3 guys that you really got to go through or that will have a chance.
Yeah, and like just being real too, the quarterbacks, you're not going to find nearly as elite quarterbacks currently in the NFC. Like we'll see as time goes, but like right now, clearly you're going to edge with most of the AFC as terms of which conference is going to have better quarterbacks. AFC is just stacked. We see that with Joe Burrow this year. It doesn't make playoffs. Unreal numbers nonetheless, though. Like you still got to figure out, you got to score a lot of points to beat that team just because Joe Burrow's on there.
Yeah,
the defense is very great, but Joe Burrow was good. Correction. Unknown texter 4198. I was trying to think of that other Husker, O'Shawn Mathis. That's right. He was down here, obviously transferred out of TCU Huskers for the year. Then he takes off to the NFL. Yeah, he was on that Eagles roster as well. I just want to bring up some more records here because this Eagles team, just trying to, how good of a Super Bowl team is this?
I know the Giants are pissed.
They should be.
I know they are pissed.
They should be pissed at themselves, though.
They let it happen.
Yeah, this is you. Yeah,
but not just with Saquon. Like you let you let McKinney go out of that area too, and he was all pro, 8 picks. That's not easy. So both of your top guys, offense and defense, both go elsewhere and record a record year.
Yeah, and like the Giants, the weirdest part about that whole thing is like it felt like everybody outside of the Giants office knew that wasn't a good move, and the only people
the owner knew it wasn't a good move, but he he stepped back. He didn't pull a Jerry Jones and let the GM do, I wouldn't say work his magic, but thunder in a blender.
Sometimes it's all right to be a little bit Jerry Jones. There's times Jerry Buss, when they're thinking about trading Kobe Bryant, he said, "Hell no! What are you doing?" There's times when it calls for it, because it was absolutely right. Nico Harrison, the GM for the Mavericks, I'm not entirely sure who the majority owner is now. It's not Mark Cuban anymore, but that's the one where you step in and you're like, hey,
wait a minute now.
You're experts, but I'm pretty knowledgeable when it comes to this guy's the face of our team. It's not hard to figure that out. Speaking of what, we'll talk about Anthony Davis later because that trade looks really crappy now. But we're going to continue on with the Eagles because this is just absolutely dominant by them. They scored 145 points in this postseason alone, the most points in a single postseason in NFL history. The most was 131 back in 1994 by the 49ers. And that's the other thing we talk about. Like we're very excited about the defense. This was the best offense we've seen, arguably, in the postseason as well. It doesn't maybe feel like it because we've been so shocked and awed by how good the defense has been at times. But also this has been the best offense. Can the offense continue? Obviously, the OC is going to be the big question there. And they're going to have to figure out what the money looks like and how many guys they can keep around. But can this offense?
I think on the offensive side, they got at least 2 years where they could get hopefully another one out of that before you really have to either people taking less money or people leaving for more money or just tired of the situation. We could see AJ Brown gone this year. Yeah. Honestly, it could happen. I don't think it's going to, but that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah. I'm not going to doubt her. You see crazy stuff. After seeing Saquon Barkley get traded, Brown definitely could. I'm not going to say unlikely, but
I mean, he didn't get traded. He tested free agency. They let him walk.
Oh, that's a good point.
They tried to call his bluff, and it didn't work out for him.
That's fair. Yeah, that is correct. He did not get quote unquote traded there. No, I don't see it happening though. Is it impossible? No, I just don't think it's going to happen with those guys. Ratings wise, how do you think the Super Bowl did?
Holistically, I think it probably the numbers started to go up late when people realized the Chiefs were losing. So I could see maybe the start of the game is like, and then like, oh wait, they're losing, and everybody like that really wasn't paying attention tuned in to see exactly what it was.
It is the all-time ratings record for the most watched Super Bowl at 126 million. It breaks that ratings record for the second straight year. This is why you shouldn't listen to social media, because social media was telling you that a bunch of people are going to boycott this game. Nobody boycotted it. It's the second year in a row.
Fake news.
Don't be listening to the those X comments. There's a lot of nonsense in there. Clearly, people weren't boycotting this thing, and it smashes the record books again. 126. I think so. Some of the things interesting. I don't know how much you care about it. Maybe I care about it more. You notice the score bug at the bottom?
No.
Okay, I just thought it was ugly. I don't know why we changed that. Basically, the thing that keeps the score, we changed that thing so damn much, and half the time, I just hate it. I don't like the way we changed it. I thought in the Super Bowl it looked stupid. It looked cartoonish. A little bit of a complaint, but just
I think it was like a Nickelodeon theme, like Super Bowl, was it not?
Yeah, it was kind of, I don't know what the hell it was. Just
maybe let's save the Nickelodeon stuff for the conference championship round and just get back to what things are for the Super Bowl.
Well, like what bothers me about the score bug is like the further you go back in time, the better it gets. It's like, okay, here's like all the info you need on a really clean slate. Not a lot of eye candy there. It's just like very clean slate, and it doesn't change. It just stays that way. So minor complaint there. Otherwise, though, officiating I thought was good.
Outside of the first call,
I was gonna say, what was your mindset on Brown when he got the offensive?
I'm like, don't start. I'm like, don't start. Don't. I can understand like them trying to regulate the game, not getting chippy and not, kind of letting things out of hand. So I get that calling stuff quick to kind of, mitigate that. But that was a terrible call. That was a god awful call. That like he makes that play. He does that, 10 out of 10 times. Nobody calls that. They typically let that go. You let that type of call go, but when the Rams and the Saints play, the dude literally gets taken out and you don't call that. That call is up there, for one of the worst, calls ever in Super Bowl history, I think. And then the follow-up play that I think they gave that they gave it to the Chiefs or whatever later on, it was like the next call. That was kind of a gimme. But other than that, I think, they got things right. They were letting, people play. They were letting the quarterback get hit. They weren't really, too touchy with that. So other than those early two calls, I think they had a pretty good game with letting things play out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I like headed into the Super Bowl totally like, okay, I know everyone's thinking conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. The Chiefs just happen to have, one of the best coaching QB duos that's been around in the league for a long time.
For sure.
So I was like, this is not rigged. Maybe the Chiefs win today, but I don't think it's rigged. And then that was the first play for the Eagles, and I was really sitting there thinking like, maybe I do boycott this. Maybe the X was right. And no, sure enough, the game was fine. They even called the Chiefs for some holding calls, which I thought was pretty rare. Rarely see that get called against the Chiefs, but when the defense is that good from the Eagles, you're going to have to hold a few times. And it got to the point where it's like,
you got to call it.
Yeah, you got to call it because it was getting bad. But despite that, 6 sacks, Pierson-El never blitzed once. Did not blitz a single time, and they were all over Patrick Mahomes. How much of that is
they better back up the Brinks truck for Fangio. That's all I'm saying. Because
this is year 1 for him too, correct? Because he wasn't there last year.
And people were saying, "Oh, him in Miami, the players," and I'm like, "No, that it just player personnel, people down there, people may be entitled to certain things. It looks different when you got a group who understands and actually works and sacrifices and executes. It got you a Super Bowl. So they better be careful because I guarantee you next year Fangio will be on the dock for head coaching opportunities.
Oh, absolutely. After that, I mean, this is a master class. Is there been a better defense in Super Bowl history in your mind? Like, obviously,
the Patriots when they kept the Rams to 3.
that's a good one.
They gave up 3. I mean, for honestly 3 quarters, they didn't give up a touchdown to Mahomes. That's crazy. So I know they got 20, but I mean, I'll give them 10
with the starters out. Yeah, I give them 10. Like, I'll be honest. I think if they played that thing, I really don't know if the Chiefs.
I don't know if they would have got 7. Like, I don't know more than 7.
Yeah, I think it's probably just 6, maybe another field goal. Like that defense was unreal. Not blitzing at all. The Cooper DeJean pick 6. You got 2 picks on Mahomes. They're not able to run the ball. They can't get Kelsey open. They couldn't do anything. I've never seen the Chiefs get humbled that bad before. And it's incredible because that's a really good football team out there. And I just completely stunned to see him humbled by like that.
I told you there were 3 teams that I think that aren't scared of the Chiefs. The Eagles, the Bengals, and the Ravens are the 3 teams that you can say what you want to say about Josh Allen in the regular season. Regular season don't count when it gets down to it. I understand, Lamar lost last year, but that wasn't on Lamar's fault last year. He could have ran, but he kept him, in the game. So but Jalen Hurts has, this is again on the Super Bowl level. We've seen him, outperform Patrick Mahomes effortlessly, honestly, in both appearances. So you and people can talk and say what they want to say about Jalen and everything like that. He's in a different category of his own now because he slayed the dragon.
Yeah, and like what he rushed for this year. I think he rushed 75 yards on that game alone. Like Jalen Hurts is unreal. He's a great quarterback. I don't care what you say. After watching this year, that's a couple of Super Bowls he's been into. And the first time versus the Kansas City Chiefs, it's not like it was horrible. It was
other than the fumble.
Yeah,
he outplayed Mahomes.
Like honestly, and that was the team where you're definitely going to say the Chiefs probably had the better offense, better coaching staff in that one. And Hurts just played really well until the very end there. Unfortunate fumble, but nonetheless, like this Eagles team is good. I don't think it's going around anytime soon. As long as Hurts is going to be in the helm of that thing, Sirianni is the head coach. OC is the only thing that scares me a little bit, but it's kind of like where Andy Reid's calling the shots.
Where's the Texans' old OC? Did he get a job yet?
I don't think he did.
My goodness, because if he's still available and he goes there, look out. Because that is definitely a Howie type of move. He always gets a move that makes you want to swing at the air.
So I don't know who. I'm trying to figure it out. It's Nick Caley now. I'm trying to figure out who the last one was. I'll have to look that one up during the break. Final thoughts on the Super Bowl, though, and before we get out of here, on just what was.
I expected a dominant win. I didn't expect it that bad, but I had him winning by 10 points or more. So I was going for the Eagles. I wasn't surprised at all.
Fair enough. And I guess I want to ask you this too. Any sign of trouble for the Chiefs now that you've kind of taken not just the loss in the Super Bowl?
No,
that was a beating.
No, because they're going to be the Chiefs. They're going to reload. Spags is still there. Andy Reid is still there. They draft well. They sign well. People are going to want to go there to play and everything like that. It wasn't your night.
I think I'm pretty much with you. And we've seen Mahomes, like they still got to the Super Bowl.
They reinvented themselves multiple times. And have gotten to where they gotten to. They gotten where they gotten to with the team that they got there, and they only lost twice in 1 year. So it's not over for them. It's not the downfall of them. They're still going to be a really, really good team, period.
I agree. And the weirdest thing about that, as we go to break here, watching that Chiefs team, I'll be honest, I couldn't believe that roster was in the Super Bowl. And I couldn't believe they were beating the teams. it just, when you looked at the Eagles and you looked at the Chiefs, you're like, how is this team? They just bullied everybody on their way in. And then when you watch the Eagles, they just look so much better in terms of like what they had talent wise. Again, it kind of just goes back to, in a weird way, oddly appreciating how good Mahomes and Andy Reid are and just the rest of that coaching staff, because how many other coaches are getting that roster to a Super Bowl?
Maybe a handful.
Yeah, maybe. And I feel like that's where being generous. Like I could probably 3 at the most was like kind of what I feel good about. Patrick Mahomes is great, but you got to figure out the pieces to get that thing working, and also have those connections with the OC and DC and understand. We understand what those guys do. Andy Reid calls the plays. OC pretty much stays in place. Spagnuolo, he's not really going anywhere. I mean, that thing's just cycling. It's a system. So I'm with you. I think they'll be right back to it next year. Don't go anywhere though. We got to throw it to break. On the other side, we got to talk about Anthony Davis. Didn't think it was a good trade. You're a little bit higher on it. I'm going to ask you about that again because it's already looking a little bit rough there in Dallas. Don't go anywhere. Don't punt hour. Talk to you in a bit.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Abby with Midwest Bank. Stop by our new location at 70th and Pioneers. Our new full-service branch does it all. From our friendly staff to our easy online banking and mobile app, you get all the technology of a big bank that you need, but you still get the hometown customer service that you want. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier dealership, stocking top brands such as Can-Am, Honda, Polaris, Kawasaki, CF Moto, Suzuki, Yamaha, Indian Motorcycles, Sea-Doo, Manitou pontoon boats, and Triton trailers. Come check out Nebraska's newest Indian motorcycle dealership and ring in the new year the right way on an Indian motorcycle. Save big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft to ring in the new year at their new 27th and I-80 location.
If you're a veteran, our nation has created a wide range of benefits to thank you for your service, but it can be difficult to navigate the process of determining eligibility, filing claims, appealing decisions, and securing the benefits you've earned. Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. These services are 100% free, so visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Don't Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We should have Marnie Pierson-El joining us here as well. And again, 402-464-5685 is the starting name and text line. All right, he's back. Marnie Pierson-El, fantastic. I think I asked you about it before. Maybe I'm mixing you up, but you were pretty adamant that this Luka and AD trade, which blew my mind, you didn't think it was actually that bad of a deal for the Mavericks. Is that in my head, or is that accurate? Were you actually thinking that?
That's accurate.
Okay. Day by day, Davis is already out for at least expecting multiple weeks with a left adductor strain in his first game.
They both injured players, so they both be hurt a lot.
Yeah, well, I feel like one's hurt a little bit more. It's just
they both be hurt. They both be hurt.
One's 25. One's
hurt.
How old is AD now? 32?
I think 32, I think.
I mean, we're talking a 7-year difference between what it might be the best upcoming superstar and a guy who's already past his prime.
Hey, listen, you know, I get what you're saying. I understand it. I didn't make the trade. I get it. Again, each side wanted, you know, what they wanted differently. One side wanted more success or somebody, you know, I don't want to say more reliable, but somebody wanted, you know, a short-term success, and somebody's building for the future.
I almost want to put my tinfoil hat on this because, like, sometimes I look at this and I'm like, this has to be like a room full of billionaires figuring out, like, hey, the NBA is losing money like an absolute sieve. It's getting worse every year. The Lakers are big, and it's all we really got. And honestly, the Lakers aren't as exciting as they used to be. They're about average in the West. AD's kind of out sometimes. LeBron's getting older. How do we save the league? If I want to go full tinfoil hat, that's how a trade like this happens. Like, in no world, if you're the Mavericks, do you do this?
But they did. They're under new management.
Yeah.
Again, it's not the same person. You like. I feel like a lot of people are like, "Oh, Mark Cuban." He's came out and said he doesn't agree with it, and if he was there or still have power, I guarantee you it wouldn't have went down. But the powers may be at B. He's not the person, you know, who pulls the strings. It's another group out of Las Vegas that came into Texas that are handling operations more, and that's what they did. They wanted to invest their money elsewhere.
Yeah.
Now, is that a smart investment? That's debatable. We'll see. But I mean, you got two superstars. I understand Luka is probably arguably the bigger superstar and more, you know, lucrative and on the table and whatnot. But again, that's a $350 million investment that they didn't want to do.
Just like I don't know. To me, it does not feel like a genuine trade. Like, it just seems so whack and out of thin air. No, I get what you're saying, and like I get the idea that if you're the Mavericks, you can go win a championship ring, and it's all valid, and everybody, kumbaya at the end. But like the likelihood of that was so, in my mind, like pretty damn low already. Being in that conference, I don't think they're going to be the favorite. They definitely have a swinging chance, but like it's a stretch, especially with the injury history. And as much as you might like Kyrie and a lot of these other guys, it's clearly you're not going to have anybody good enough to fill the void that was a Luka. So that always just kind of seems off. It just to me feels like this was not a Mavericks decision, a league decision. Like, is that even possible?
I don't think so. Because if only two individuals knew about it and they came and published it and got it done together, there's no room for the league to stop it.
Like, you know how we're talking about Mark Cuban is not the ownership group anymore. Like, that's pretty clear. He's been stoned. Like, he doesn't have pull over there. He wouldn't have done the trade. It's just like I don't know what the new ownership looks like. I guess that'd be the big thing to figure out if I'm gonna, put on the tinfoil hat. But yeah, it just definitely feels like money was on the table, and not so much like let's make sure the NBA brings in as much money as possible, because then we get more money as a result of the NBA making more money. We don't really give a damn about our team individually. As long as the team does well, we're all paid by the league. We're going to make a deal for some extra money and kind of say, screw our own fan base.
Do you know how, like, all the dots that got to connect and all the pieces that has to go into that for that to, like, even remotely work?
You know how many dots have to go together for you to think that trading Luka Doncic at 25 is going to work?
Yeah, two of them. The Lakers dots and the Mavericks dots. Clearly, they connected.
Yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't be that hard to trade Luka. Like, if you got a bunch of people who are interested for the money, there is no conspiracy. They own the team. They can do what they want. That's not a conspiracy. Trade him. The Adam Silver is more than happy to allow that trade to happen.
If he wanted to stop it, he would have stopped it within the first couple of minutes of them alerting, hey, this is going to go through to be processed. Hey, both of y'all agree on it? Yes, both of us agree. All right, cool. Deal's done.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. But I don't think it was about winning. I think it's about money. I think it's the only thing we're trying to maybe disagree on. Every time we do this, we just go in a circle back and forth about the Luka and AD trade, and I was hoping that today would be a different result. We just saw AD. I mean, he's going to be out.
Two sides wanted different things, like you know what I mean.
One wanted money and one wanted to win, and I think the Mavericks wanted money, and and you're saying both teams just wanted to win.
I think they're gonna win in their own outrights. Now the Lakers might win later on in life, a few years down the road. We'll see how how much the Michelin Man shaves off a few pounds or whatnot, and see how he performs with LeBron. And then for the Mavs, okay, we'll see how AD handles offense being ran from the center of the floor with some pretty good players. They wanted a different success right then and now.
Yeah, I do hope the Mavericks do figure it out, because
they have pieces. I mean, you have you have Clay there. Clay hasn't necessarily got to where he needs to be at, which is still fine. He can still give
38%, I think, from three. So it's not like it's been abysmal. He's still getting decent number.
Yeah. So I mean, you got that. You got Jason Kidd has been around the league. He's another coach that understands things and whatnot. He has a vision, and I mean, I think they'll be fine. Now I don't know if they'll make it. I don't know if they'll make it, as far as they did necessarily last year, just because I think that the competition in the West is just so stacked. That's not an easy hill to climb, and you need, AD to be healthy and whatnot. So hopefully, it's not too much to where it's affected and he misses, the playoffs or hopefully a chance with getting him to the playoffs.
Yeah. The one strength I'll give the Mavericks, like kind of looking over their roster, thinking all the players they lost because they don't got Kleber anymore, but like they're not necessarily a superstar heavy, really outside of AD as like you would say the Celtics are. But one thing they do have going for them, they just have a bunch of guys that are good. Like there are not none of them really superstars, but just a bunch of really good role players.
They're grinder guys. They
got TJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, Derek.
They understand their roles, and they're
Reach
going to
seconds.
execute it, and they're going to speed up the tempo, and they're linky, they're athletic. They're going to be a headache.
I agree. I don't know how far they'll go, but I kind of like it. Looking more like Spencer Dinwiddie's on that roster, Caleb Martin.
They got some pieces. They're in the West, and it's just going to be difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, Dwight Powell as well. Man, all right. Team's a lot deeper than I thought. Still a bad trade though, in my eyes. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. AD, looking at it, like he's only gonna be out for a few weeks. So to be fair to you, it is not a season-ending injury.
They both hurt. And Luka been out too.
Yeah. Well, there we go. And we'll see which one looks better on what jersey here. But odds are, I do like the fit with the Lakers better. I don't know how the trade happened, but there's plenty of ball left, and there's still definitely an opportunity for the Mavericks to make it all worth it. If they get a ring, then everything I said sounds stupid because they have to ring to show for it. It's the exact same thing that the Lakers did when they got AD. All right, we'll get out of here. We'll throw it to our final break. On the other side, we'll talk a little bit of Husker basketball as they got another win, continuing the streak. Don't go anywhere. Talk to you in a bit.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Wellman Plumbing at 402-434-2400 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-434-2400. Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln or their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most, for all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment, Don't Punt Hour, 402-464-5685. That is the Sartor Heyman text line. And we do got a text from Thomas in Lincoln. If we got time for it, I'll get to it. If not, I got to talk about this Husker basketball game. So with that being said, 79-71, Huskers win it. They get it at home. They beat the Ohio State Buckeyes, continuing the win streak. What is that, 5 now? Or is that, let me count it up here. From losing 6 straight to winning 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row. Yeah, that makes it 4. I make it more of what you expect from Bryce Williams. Defensive intensity, it looked good. Thoughts on the game? They did it again. Proved it 4.
Again, like I said, it's crunch time. It's getting closer to the end. They're finding that rhythm again and everything like that. And you got to stack these games. So continue climbing that mountain.
Yeah, and just real quick here, give you the stats. Parrish for Ohio State was really good for him. 30 points, but shot 50% from the floor, if not bad. Bryce Williams, though, over 50% from the floor, 24 points, 9 of 16, 5 of 5 from the free throw line as well. He's just been so good for the Huskers as they've been kind of trying to close down these last few wins they can get for the stretch. The big numbers for me in this one, of course, you're going to you shoot 51% from the floor. But what I really liked is they had over half of their points in the paint. They made all their layups. They made both their dunks. They only had, I think they really only missed it inside the paint maybe less than 4 times. It was a beautiful performance. Everything in the paint. We've seen it before with this team just unfortunately misses a bunny. It can be the most wide open shot, and we'll see you just occasionally not be able to get. That wasn't yesterday. They completely took advantage of a team that was not big enough to compete. Their best rebounder, he was 6'6", 6'7" at best. That's what you have to do. You have to out-rebound that team, and you got to just go at the paint. They don't have the size to protect you. That's what Nebraska did, and they pulled off another nice win.
I think they have to do that periodically. I mean, not just against a smaller team, have that in your game. You can have, somebody as big as you or whatnot, but, they might not be with the energy to stop things and whatnot. So at least test it out and try it. But the fact of that they feel comfortable enough to do that at this point in the season and whatnot. Again, momentum. You don't just have to go a certain way. Everybody's getting involved. Everybody, kind of is pitching in. So it's really, really good at this point in time in the season. It's just taking it one day at a time, and like I said, continue to stack.
Yeah, it's definitely taking it one day at a time. The Big Ten we're getting to that point where the conference standings, it is a bundle. It's one loss, one win. It's going to swing you one way or another. And luckily, we're sitting enough ahead to where, it can definitely still happen. We can fall out of this thing before you know it. But we've put enough cushion. I think a lot of people would be surprised to understand that at that one point in time where we're looking, down 2 ranked opponents and we just lost 6 straight. I don't think a lot of people said, yeah, we'll just rattle off those 2 and then go on the road and win another one, and then come back home 4 straight. But here we are. So you kind of look at the rankings, 10, 11 is where they keep sliding up a little bit. They're pretty secure there. They're out of the quote unquote last 4 in on most people's projected brackets. They're more of getting the securely. I think Ken Palm probably has them the most favorable, somewhere around 40 in the rankings. Net not as high as you might expect. But we talked about this is a team that's just going to have a lot of good wins. It's going to be hard to write them off. Yeah. And they have another chance versus Maryland. And they get Maryland at home this time. If they get another ranked win, now we're getting to a very hard point where if they get another ranked win, I know it's at home, but yeah, at that point, it's going to be, even if Nebraska, loses the majority of their last games after that, it's going to be a hard team to knock out of there with all the ranked wins they're going to have and a lot of good quad one opponents.
I think you still need to take care of business regardless of the rank wins or not.
You need to get to 20 for sure.
It's a what can you do for me now, not just holistically. And you want to be kind of hot going in. So most definitely it would be appetizing to continue to knock off and get those victories regardless. I mean, it'll be a good showing of the Big Ten. It's hard to play on the road. That narrative is still alive and doing well. So don't look too far ahead. Focus was in front of you one day at a time. Because we've seen when they were at the highest, they beat UCLA and 20 this and it spun the opposite way quick. So put our heads down. Let's dig in, win the next one, and when it comes time to let them decide what things will be with hopefully a bunch of more W's, ranked or unranked, it don't matter. But make sure you check the list and make sure it's checked twice.
Yeah, that part. And you're right. Definitely don't look, especially when the next one's a ranked opponent.
Yeah,
you're mad, man, to be looking ahead like that. Especially when the next one ahead is a ranked opponent who gave you the work last time, beat you by 3. Maybe work's not the right word, but they did beat you by 3 points. You had the opportunity.
You played them good.
Yeah,
you let the game get away from you.
What I like about this team is it does feel like we're getting to that point where this team just understands how to close out games. We tweaked the lineup a little bit, so now when we got the lead. And the game's coming to an end. We know fouls are coming. We feel much better about what we did with some of the previous lineups on making sure it doesn't matter really who it goes into. Even if it goes to Morgan, if it got to Morgan, that means he's going to have a wide open pass to someone who can shoot free throws. Fast breaks are becoming wide open when teams really want to pressure us. We're just figuring out how to close games. And even in this one, it was 34 points in the first half. Yeah, Nebraska pops off for 45 in the second half to Ohio State 32. They're just getting more and more comfortable closing out games, and to me, that's the biggest thing I got on this Nebraska basketball team. I do think they can stay hot, beat Maryland at home, especially if you just said it. They were right there on the road last time. I really thought they should have had that one.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on Husker hoops before we wrap things up here?
They're turning the page. Like I said, they're getting back comfortable and finding their groove. So continue, to walk teams down one day at a time.
Absolutely. And that next one, as you had said here, that comes on the 13th here. So just only 3 days away, and then we'll be back at it at home. They play Maryland at number 23 ranked Maryland at that. Should be a good one. Man, good morning, Pierson-El. Sure to talk about that, as well as whatever the offseason takes us. We're kind of at that point. NFL's over. College football offseason. Do our best not to drink the Kool-Aid, but that's going to do it for us tonight. We'll talk to you guys again tomorrow.